great phrase for that is this: hey, when you're ready. So
Mm.
my son was yelling at my wife. I walk into the room, and instead of, what do you think you're doing yelling at my wife? How many times? Instead of that, I say, sometimes I would say, hey, I can tell you're frustrated. And again, even matter of fact, not like, I can tell you're dysregulated. Like that is just like, who are you
You just
talking
throw a
to?
bit of petrol on the fire there. Just
Yeah. So I don't go with either, but I walk in like, hey, Case, my son's name is Casey. So, hey, Casey, I can tell you're frustrated. Listen, when you're ready, if you want to come in the living room, dump the Legos out. Oh, I'll help you build a really cool spaceship. Hey, when you're ready, if you want to come outside and we'll play football.
Mm.
Not to you. You guys don't have the real football, but
No,
I'm
we use
kidding.
our feet.
You use your feet. It is the real. We actually, Casey and I have been in Europe during World Cup time. Man, what
Ooh,
an awesome cultural experience! Like where the TVs are outside, and it's just anyway, it's awesome.
that's a
But
different look. Europe, I'm gonna because Europe, big place. UK, we're not putting anything outside. It's great. It's raining. If you see greenery, that's because it rains. You know what makes grass grow? The fucking rain, right? So that's why it's lovely and green here, because it fucking rains all the time.
sounds like a little
I
bit
just,
of resentment there towards your climate. So one of my favorite phrases is that, hey, when you're ready, if you want to come do X, because that gives the child now a little bit of ownership over it. Because just saying, hey, you need to come out and do this with me. If you have a strong-willed child, just saying, hey, you need to do this right now, 100 out of 100 times, screw you, not happening. So I like the when you're ready. I think, the educator one, I just did this in this past week's podcast was a child who's blurting out. So
yeah,
you can go with, hey, you got to cut that out. You know what? That's rude. You keep that up, you're going to miss time outside, time with your friends. Instead, to pull the child aside and say, dude, I know exactly why you're doing that because you've got this really cool brain filled with ideas. I mean, that's you, Lewis. I mean, I can see your brain is like pinging and so I can kind of see it through the screen. And you're like got these really curious eyes and just, but to be able to tell the child, like, I know why you blurt out. You've got this awesome brain. It's always thinking of ideas. You're like a junior Thomas Edison, or I forget who your famous guy is over there. Um, Thomas Faraday, whatever. Great British.
we'll take
Anyway,
Einstein. We'll take Einstein. I'll go European for this. We'll have Einstein.
you'll take. you can you can have Einstein.
Thanks.
So, but yeah, you're like a junior Edison and Einstein. But here's what I know: you struggle with short-term memory, and so you're afraid you're going to forget your idea, and then you blurt out my class, and we're not going to do that. So here are two or three other ways that we could handle this when you want to blurt out. And so instead of just making it like you're a rude little jerky kid, I'm not excusing it. I'm not saying, oh, I know it's really hard to hold your. I'm not doing that either. I'm just saying, like, here's why you do it. It's what's happening in your brain. And then here's a solution. And I think that's what I hear in your tone is we're problem solving. This isn't throwing me off. I'm not angry at you. I'm not flustered. You can be frustrated, obviously, as a parent, but I try to contain that so I can just get to problem solving. And I think that's what
Yeah.
scripting does too. It moves me to problem solving.